Man, it's your boy the Cuban Assassin. I'm from Landover, Maryland. Professional boxer. My record 80 wins, 0 losses. Did 7 years in the Maryland system. Well, no, actually 2 years in the Maryland system, 5 in the feds. Back home doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I started off right, 5 years in the federal penitentiary. I started off at Hazelton, right? 2017, I got off the bus. They gave me 63 months in the feds for a gun charge. It was like two and a half, two and a half. Then I got sent out to the state of Maryland. So it started in the feds and ended in the state. I don't act gangster. I just get gangster when it's time to get gangster. You feel me? So that's where a little misinterpretation come in at. A lot of guys in prison, right? So when you locked in that dorm, that unit, whatever it is, if it's a dorm or a unit, and you on that unit, right? Me personally, so me in jail, I act just like this. I'm running around, laughing and stuff like that, moving around how I move, right? I ain't walking around all aggressive, you know what I'm saying? None of that. I move freely. So because a lot of guys that meet me, they come to, the new guys that come to the block, we'll see them, right? All right, we got a new guy on the block, all right, bet. And we'll get to doing us. Once I meet that new guy and we get to talking and stuff, he always say, bruh, I did not think you was like how you was like, bro. He was like, cause when you get to the jail, you got gang members, you got different guys in different cars and different sections. So their section is going to tell them about who other people are. Say a blood come. So he like, man, who the dudes on the unit? Of course, they're gonna see me doing burpees or something like that. They're gonna be like, him right there, bro. They're gonna be like, that's Cap, bro. That's a good man. He cool. He nothing to be played with, though, man. Stay out of his way. Stay out of his way. And they looking at me, I'll probably be laughing and saying, ah! And they just looking at me like, him? You feel me? So most of the time when we end up catching up, they be like, man, people told me about you today. He was like, man, I ain't think you was like that until they saw me in action in the prison. Straight up. When something going on in the prison, I'm gonna go straight to what's it? All that laughing, guy. It's a light to it. So, and that's that. Most of the people don't understand. I got that dog in me. I got like real life in me until I turned it on. So that's where they get misinterpretation at. My father got unalive one day I was supposed to be born. I was born a week later, right? So boom, okay. I came in this world without my father. So around 16th Street, at this time, I was unbeknown to it. The top of the hill was beefing with the bottom of the hill. You know what I'm saying? Like right here, they beefing with each other. So when they see each other, it's a lot of gunshots going on. It's a lot of rats in the alley behind our house. It's really like poverty for real. But it's cool. My mother was like my mother and my father. She made it comfortable, shall I say. And then, when you're growing up in poverty and that's what you're born into, it ain't so bad. You know what I mean? It's like the norm to us, So for the most part, we stayed fresh, though. My mother kept us in fresh clothes and all that. You know what I mean? We stayed fresh. We wasn't never dirty or nothing like that. But growing up in Trinidad, D.C., that was crazy. So this is when we moved from around there about 5 or 6 years old. So many shootouts, so stuff. It was crazy. You know what I'm saying? And we beefing with the right around the corners. I've been shot 8 times. All of them bullets came from right around the corner. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Glenard, man.
You got shot 8
Yeah,
times?
heck yeah. I got shot in the back of the head, all of that. You feel me? 5 times the first time, 3 the last. Yeah, 3 the last. Yep. Survived it. Yep. And it came from the
Damn.
guys out
What was
Landover right around the corner. Yeah. I've been telling the story. See, I've been getting so comfortable. What I've been doing is going hood to hood, telling the story of where stuff happened out Cali, right? So mind you, like you said, jail and prison. So I used to just go to jail and get bonded out. I used to get out straight up. I ain't spend no time in jail. Like that's our county jail. So I go in there, I get bonded out and leave. So I don't really even know what jail is like until I get sent out LA County. So I'm out there, mind you. I go out there because a situation happened here. Everybody calling my mother like, man, you better get your son. Man. He out here lunch. You feel me? So she called me like, yeah. So I'm like, I ended up going out Cali. So I went out Cali, lay low and all this and that. So while I'm out Cali though, I get sent out there with the same Landover Merlin mindset. Man, what's up? You hear me? You feel me? All that and this and that. And I got into an altercation and I knocked out 3 people out there. You feel me? Good. Oh, bop. Look the sweet on them. And the police end up catching up with me. So they catch up with me. And so crazy, bro. At this time, like I said, I don't really know about what. They asked me what happened. I tell them what happened. I said, yeah, man, they was playing with me. Boo, bop. Whole time. They use that against me and all that. I ain't even know about the law. None of that. What you say could be used against you. So they had me in a little LA. It's called it's a station, like a police station. This is how it is out west. They put you in a police station once you get locked up. Boom, you gonna go from there. Then you gonna go to the courthouse. My LA people know I ain't lying about this, man. Hit that like button. Turn this joint up. I'm giving y'all law. So they take you to the courthouse. Once you get to the courthouse, they you going in the bottom of the courthouse. Man, this is when I knew it was just serious, bro. So they got us chained up and all that. So when we get to the bottom of the courthouse, it's all of us. We all chained up. It's a guy that got his head down, right? So, but his head, it's all tied up, it's tattoos, and he handcuffed to every chair, you know what I'm saying? Every way on the chair. So I'm like, what the hell? So when he look up, man, his whole face was tatted, bro. Whole face is tattooed. Like, all right, so you used to watch Gangland, right? You know what I'm saying? Remember Gangland and all
Yeah.
them.
Oh yeah, I
So
remember
oh
Gangland.
no, and Lockup Raw. That's what I meant to say. You remember
Yeah.
Lockup Raw, bruh? So I used to watch Lockup Raw as a kid. You know what I'm saying? I used to see how they used to fight in the cell, get out the cell. I always said watching Lockup Raw. I love to try that. You feel me? That's the type of like dang. And I ended up doing it when I got sent to prison. That's another story. So we out LA, right? So now I remember Lockup Raw with all the dudes on the tattoos and all that, the gang members and stuff. So now, bruh, when I see him, that reminded me of that. I'm like, oh. This is where I'm at. Lock up raw. And he just started smiling at all
Lockup
of
Raw.
us. And it's still for real because it was like, you know what I'm saying? This not PG County. You know what I'm saying? And so
Yeah.
they put us on the elevator. That made me alert right there. You gotta pay attention. So that made me alert right there. I'm like, dang, this ain't around home. I ain't gonna lie. Everybody ain't got their face tied here. This is years ago, bro. I was 19, bro. So this is like 2009 or something. You know what I'm saying? This is before all the face tats came. Ain't nobody had that back in 2009 for real, for real. So his whole face tatted.
Yeah,
So
you're right.
I know this is serious. So I get sent upstairs. We get in the bullpen. When we get in the bullpen, I go get on the phone real fast. But before I get on the phone, somebody say, "Hey, where you from?" I'm from Maryland. What's up? So they was like, "Oh, nah, Brim Gangster." So then he was like, I go to another joint. He asked me where I'm from. So I'm like, why everybody ask me where I'm from, bro? You feel me? So when I sit down, I analyze the bullpen. It's a big old bullpen, bro. So when I look to the right, bro, it's all Mexicans over there. All Mexicans is over there. And then the blacks is over here. I don't even remember no Caucasians because this is the two most major races in this bullpen. So I said, why are the Mexicans over there? I'm talking about every last Mexican. It's not one Mexican mixed in with a black. So I'm like, that threw me off. So, because around here, you know what I'm saying? We gonna be sitting next to each other. It might be two over here.
Yeah.
All of them is not gonna be next to each other. Like, say, if that's going on in our bullpen, then we gonna get to talking like, watch them, bro. Hey, watch them, bro. Something about, you know what I'm saying? We gonna feel like they about to bring us a move. So I saw that. I end up going for bond. They denied me bond, bro. They sent me over to Twin Towers. You know what I'm saying? And when we get into Twin Towers, it was turn, bro. As soon as I get in there, everybody asking me where I'm from, this and that. And so now they raised my bond up because I was a box out there and I assaulted somebody. So they sent me over to jail. So what they ended up sending me at was Wayside. It's called Wayside. They sent me to Dorm 33 with the Brims. As soon as I came in there, they like, where you from? I'm like, I'm from DC, bro. Bob. And then they had see, this jail right here this is the inmates running in this joint. The jail, the same dudes I'm talking about. So this is how it is. When you get in the joint at Wayside, they be gang banging so much that it's the number one for the blacks and it's the number one for the Mexicans. You feel me? So the blacks is supposed to run all the black inmates in here. The Mexicans is supposed to run all the Mexican inmates in here. We got a toilet, they got a toilet. You only get in the shower with your own race. We got phone 1 through 6, they got phone 7 through 12. Nobody nobody sit at the wrong lunch table, nobody use the wrong toilet, none of that. If you do, it's gonna be a race ride in here. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? It's a thin line. It's just race rides popping off in this joint, and they got the number one gave me game of the prison. You know, I mean, with the jail, he was telling me about how the Crips got into it with the Mexicans that they ran off with some work. They ran off with some work in 2003, and that started a war on the LA streets and stuff like that. And they came into jail, so now they have a structured program where as though to keep tension down. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of Mexicans do not be liking blacks, bro. Out, you know what I mean, out west and all this and that. You know what I'm saying? Be a lot of racial tension, shall I say? So it's a number one for the blacks. If you break a rule, the blacks is gonna take care of you. The Mexicans gonna take care of you. That's how. So this is LA County Jail, bro. Oh, so look. Oh, nah. This is the good part. This is the good part. So I'm just a civilian in this joint. You supposed to be on your bunk at 8 o'clock. I was on my bunk at 7:50. I ain't even gonna fake. You feel me? I'm out Cali. I ain't gonna get them no problems, no nothing. When I came in here, they
Hell
beat up
no.
2 Crips. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna play it safe. So I'm on my bunk at 7:50. Now we're gonna get on. I'm gonna explain how the gang members get down because it was crazy that on the streets the Crips and Bloods they beef. They is beefing. You know, everybody know this is good nationwide. So here it is, they getting locked up together. So when I came in and I had my stuff, get buzzed, and they like, where you from? I'm like, man, I'm from DC. They be like, all right, nah, I'm Bim Gangster. So the guys that's with me, bro, he said Harlem Crip. Next thing you know, he's like, oh yeah, I need that. Start throwing, yeah, I need that. I need that. I need that. So they start like, I'm thinking they arguing. I don't know what's going on at this time. So I'm like, what the hell? I'm out. You know, jail. Mind your business. Mind your business, though. I'm
Yeah.
mind my business. If he got to fight, he's on his own. I don't know him. I'm from Maryland. I'm from Maryland. So they all, yeah, we going in the back. We gonna rack the bunks. I need that. I need that. So I sit down. So the number one get to telling us that's when, as soon as you get in there in the dorm, because this is a dorm setting. This ain't no cell. This is a dorm setting, and it's 3-2 a bunk. That's how crowded this joint is. California, LA County Jail, East Max. 3-2 a bunk. Boom, boom, boom. You feel me? Thank God they put me right at the front bunk. God was looking out for me. So here it is. They arguing, supposedly. So he teaches our toilets and stuff like that. I sit at the table out front in the day room. So I hear the bunks in the back. So I hear the bunks getting pushed apart. So I'm like, what the heck is that? So I turn around and look. I see, I don't know at this time, they bloods. I see a lot of dudes in the back. They probably like 15, 20 deep, all on one side. And the other 2 guys that I just came in with, right? They on the other side. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, because they back there, you know what I'm saying? This in the back, and the dorm is in the front. Well, this is a cage, then joint. You know what I mean? And they ain't got no COs. These are sheriffs. They sit right there outside of a gate. But for real, they be walking around. Ain't nobody up there right now. So I hear the bunks hitting each other. Boom, boom, boom. I know I hear them fight. So I'm like, oh, they fighting. I'm like, oh, they fighting. So I look back and stuff. I'm trying to see what's going on, but not really pay attention. So they like, get up. Here, the dude that came in, he just got dropped. You know what I mean? Boom, bop. So they beat them 2 dudes up. Boom. You feel me? So in my head, I'm thinking, I'm gonna get beat up tomorrow. You feel me? I'm like, in my head, I don't know what's going on. It was just 4 of us that came in. 2 of them got beat up. It's 2 more left. They must be tired. They gonna beat me up tomorrow. That's what I'm thinking in my head. You feel me? So I
He
just
must be
chill. I'm chilling.
tired.
Yeah, that's what in my head. That's what I said, because I don't know what's going on. You feel me? So I sit down. I'm sitting down in my head. I'm like, I'm preparing. I'm like, damn, I'm locked. This is jail. This is what I'm telling y'all. Stay home, bro. Stay home, bro. I'm telling you, because I'm locked in this jail. And not just locked in this jail. I'm all the way out California where I don't know nobody. But here it is. I want to be in the streets. I play with pistols and I do this and that. So I gotta deal with this joint. I can't go to no police and nothing to help me, this and that. Ain't none of that. So I'm sitting there just like, dang, I'm gonna have to fight them tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So next day came and I'm watching TV. I never forget it, bro. And I'm watching TV and the number one tapped me. So I turn around. He like, hey, where you from? So when he asked me where I'm from, I'm like, oh, here go my turn. So I turned around, I put my back to the gate. So, cause I thought they was gonna pack me out. Remember, I told you it was 20 of them in the back. So I'm like, bro, I'm like, so now I'm getting my adrenaline get the rushing when I think I'm about to be attacked or something about to go on. I don't get scared. Cause I like, that's how you lose, bro. So I'm like, I get the little like, man, bro, I'm from DC, bro. What's up? You know what I'm saying? Get on my what's up. You feel me? Cause I'm thinking about this my time right here. And when I'm saying to myself, I'm not going in the back. Y'all ain't gonna take me in the back. I'm gonna fight y'all right here. You know what I'm saying? Because they took them in the back yesterday. I ain't going in the back, bro. So I'm sitting there like, you know what I mean? I ain't do the buff. And he's like, what you getting? He's like, what you getting all defensive for, bro? I was like, bro, cause y'all keep asking me where I'm from. We said, cause we gang banging. I said, what the heck? So now I'm like, they gang banging. I'm like, so I said, what gang is like what y'all? He's like, man, we bloods. We boo Bob Brim, we Brim gang, you know what I'm saying? And started teaching me and started telling me everything was going on and all that. I'm like, oh, so now we talking, right? So and he telling me what's going on, how they doing and stuff like that. He like, so you don't want to be nosy or nothing. So I did it a respectful way. I'm like, bro, not to be in y'all business or nothing. But yesterday, I said, so them was Crips, y'all was fighting yesterday. He was like, yeah, the worst of the worst. And did his little hand sign, like did this. He's like, the worst of the worst. He's like, yeah, the little buck. So like now I'm like, oh, I'm like, dog. I'm like, I'm so what's it called? Intrigued, whatever it is. So now I'm talking to him and we talking. He like, what you doing out here? I'm like, man, I'm out here boxing, bro. I'm like, I'm out here boxing. Told him the situation that happened like that. And and he was like, later on that night, I told you I'll be on my bunk at 7:50. This is the number one I was just talking to though. So you got to be on your bunk at 8 o'clock. All non-affiliates. If this is a blood dorm, and because every dorm, different dorms be having different gangs. Bloods be having this joint. Uh, Harlem Crips be having this joint. You know what I mean? Different joints, different sections. So dorm 33, this is a Brim dorm. So non-affiliates, Crips, and all that, you be on your bunk because the only person can be up is the bunk, is the Bloods. So I'm on, me, I get on my bunk at 7:50. So I'm up there chilling. I hear, hey, DC. So I'm like, I look back. It's the Bloods in the back. They call me. They like, come here, bro. So I come back there. I'm like, what's up? So they like, you really box? So I'm like, yeah, bro. They like, so now they did. They're like, show me you box. So I'm like, oh, so you hear me? So we get the, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of showed them not really box. They're like, dang, bro. They like, teach me. I'm like, man, I got y'all. So we get to talking. And they like, man, you ain't gotta be on your bunk at DC. You come back in. They like, we ain't calling you DC no more. What's your name? We were like, man, they call me Cap. You feel me? So they're like, all right, we're gonna call you Cap with a K. So I'm like, all right. So boom, relationship started. That's how I met them. I don't have to be on my bunk no more, nothing like that. You feel me? And we just got the rock and rolling from there. So now I'm learning how they are running their jails. So being as though they beefing with the Crips and Bloods, when somebody coming in there, they fighting. And after they fight, then they gonna be cool. You know what I'm saying? Because in certain situations like this, like I said, each gang has their own section out there, right? So Dorm 33 is a Brim dorm. This is a blood dorm. So everybody in here is comfortable. This is their stuff. Sometimes their names get pulled, or they might get switched, or their enemy might find out that they're in the jail. So every week, it's the number one that worked the block. He go to the police. He go to the police and he talk to the police. He tell them, you know what I mean, whatever's going on. He tell them what people he want to be sent out of the dorm and the people he sent in. You hear me? That's for they do this for to keep the order. The number one could go to the police every week and say, look, man, take these dudes out and bring these dudes in. And sometimes they'll find out their enemy name and they'll pull their enemy name. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey man, we want him. And they be an enemy. So now when you on your bunk and you a big Crip in the Harlem Crip dorm, and they like, hey, big bad rolling Crip such and such. You're like, what's up? They like roll it up. They're like, oh, what's cracking, cuz? You gotta go to another dorm and fight. You feel me? So you know what I
Oh,
mean?
damn.
It's this. So now, and what's so crazy is all his Crip homies know. They be like, oh, they be like, cuz, you better go represent the set, cuz, on Crip, cuz. Cuz you about to go into it. You might get, but sometimes you might get sent to another Crip dorm. You feel me? You might go in there like, what's cracking? Cuz, Marlon Crip, what's cracking? You know what I'm saying? They do their little joint. So that's how that jail was ran. And that joint was crazy. You know what I'm saying? That joint was crazy. That joint was
Yeah,
crazy.
so basically it was ran by inmates,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah. But to be honest, bruh, we run every jail, every prison. We run that, bruh. Don't matter what is, ADX, that's something different. But most part, these other county jails and all that, think about it, bro. We get everything we want inside of it. It just takes a matter of time. They can't stop nothing. They can slow it down. Yes, they can slow it down. But one thing they can't stop, bro, is what we doing. Even when they cages, bro. Straight up. Ain't no way around it. Look at it. Look what's going on today. You know what I'm saying? So like we run the jail. You know what I'm saying? I tell people that all the time because you want to know how serious this is. All right, situation out the dream, right? Say we want to prepare for war. This is strategies of war. If we want to prepare for war, we gonna put the jail on lockdown. You know what we're gonna do? Might have two homies fight. Man, y'all go out there and fight real fast. Boosh, they're gonna go out there and fight. They're gonna put the jail on lockdown. You know what we're gonna do on lockdown? We're gonna shop and everything. Shh. Get a little joint, pull joints and pop, 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 pop. So then we're gonna send the kites. Hey, when these doors pop, bro, we're gonna go ahead and kick it off. We're gonna go ahead and kick it off. They don't, the people we beefing with, whoever we got into it with, they don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So it like we control the jail because we gonna put this joint on lockdown. You know what I'm saying? They thinking, police thinking in their head, oh, they fighting me. We're gonna punish them. Nah, we wanted you to do that. Hit that like button. Hit
Yeah,
that like button. Hit that like button.
I remember COVID. You was locked up during COVID?
Heck yeah, bro. I was out caning USP, bro.
Yo, we had to take bird baths for 30 days. We couldn't take a
No
normal
question.
shower. We had to wash off in the sink.
You want to know something? I was used to that. I was homeless. You hear me? I was a dirty bread. I just told you I'm sleeping outside. I'm taking dunks outside. You hear me? I don't even care. The little bird, I love jail. I love cleaning up three meals a day. You hear me? I'm like, you hear me? I'm in here. I needed a place to stay. You know what I'm saying? So like, I feel what you saying. I'm the type though. I was relating to it because I've been down. I done slept outside before, bro. So little situations about bird bathing like that when I knew I couldn't wash up for like 2 days, you know what I'm saying? Same drawers on, I ain't even tripping.
Yeah, it's like, was it like you at a hotel or something, right?
No question, right? Yeah. That's a fact. And see,
Yo,
that's what makes prison so dangerous. Cause for real, you could get comfortable in the joint, bro. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It is just like a hotel besides the violence. You know what I'm saying? So that's why when guys come out here, I think in my mind, I'm like, man, and when they go back, cause you know, a lot of guys don't survive out here, they go back and it's like, they like, I'll just go back to jail. You know what I mean? I ain't got no responsibility. Nobody can call me. You know what I mean? You can only call out here. I don't have to pay for no rent. I don't have to pay for no nothing. No responsibility. And they go back. You know what I'm saying? Straight up.
yeah. What would you tell a young person, running in the streets, about to going to jail and stuff? What kind of advice would you give them?
Uh, for real, you gonna waste a lot of time, bro. You gonna waste a lot of time. Let me tell you something. It's men out here like me and bro and so many other people that could that's really gonna give you game and give you knowledge if you just listen. If you just listen and take heed, you won't have to go through what we went through. You know what I mean? But you have to be open-minded. You know what I'm saying? You really gotta listen because it's like this, right? You playing the game right now. I played the game. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I played the game, and I know it's kind of fun. It's kind of exciting, you know. And the thing is, and I know I'll be speaking from my experience. The reason I really was in the streets going hard and doing a lot of stuff because I was going through something. I was mad. My father had passed away. I was mad. My mother put me out. I was really going through something. I'm mad. So now I want to take it out on the world. You know what I mean? And I understand. So I know I'm not the only person who has pain like that. It's a lot of kids out here, y'all done lost y'all friends, you know what I mean? It's a lot of little mental health going on. What I'm saying is don't let that take you down a bad path. So now it will. Now, if I did now, I'm gonna me prime example. Like I just gave the timeline. All right, my mother I started boxing at 7, 8, got put out 16, did when I got to about 21, 22, that's when I came home from the county jail, started doing good and all that. Then I got sent to prison for 7 years, you know what I mean? So for real, from my 16 all the way to 35 was a waste of time. It was a waste of time. If I didn't do this right here, if I wasn't getting paid on this YouTube and making money off of what I've been through, it would have been a waste of time. Because why? Here it is. I spent all this time doing all this stuff and then got sent to prison for it. And now I just have nothing to show for it. Nothing. You know what I mean? And cause I spent my time running around doing this, and now I'm an old man about to get old or whatever the case may be, and I have nothing to show for it. You know what I'm saying? Luckily, by the grace of God and my mental, I took my negative mindset and turned it into a positive mindset and said, I'm gonna tell my story and help out other youngins and just people, period. And now I'm getting paid for it. So my time in the streets and what I did was well spent. Everybody don't get like that. Everybody don't even make it. You know what I'm saying? So like, don't go down that road, man. J. Cole said that I was listening to a song. he said, yeah, you went a long, he said, yeah, you came a long way, but you went down the wrong way. I said, dang, because when you go down that path so far, then you gotta turn around. What you say? I'm about to get my life together out there playing with the pistol, selling this, selling that, and being in the streets for so long. Now you about to get your life together. That's a long road to get back. Now, yes, you can do it. Yes, you can do it. Yes, yes, anything is possible. I'm telling you, because look at me. I'm telling you, yes, you can do it. But the thing is, why do it if you don't have to? If you don't have to do it, you shouldn't. You know what I mean? So that is my word of advice to the youngest man. Man, don't waste your time, son. Do something. It's man. Hey, man, I'm telling you, bro. And a lot of people ain't even surviving it and making it in these days. That's my word of advice right there. Don't go down the wrong road, bro, and then have to turn around. The same thing you doing in the streets, you could do with illegal stuff. Prime example: when I used to be out here, hustling and stuff. All right, say uh I used to sit on traps and stuff like that. When I get a call, somebody got some money or something in the house, I'm pulling up. You feel me? I'm sitting on the house. I'm like, yeah, I'm waiting, sitting on the house. You know what I'm saying? Wait till they come out. I'm gonna hop out. Hey, get on the floor. Blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Take this stuff with a bop. You know what I mean? Go back to the block. Take all their little work or whatever they got. Bag it up. You know what I'm saying? Bag it up. Now hit the block. Let everybody know. Look, man, I got this. I got that. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm banging out here. Yeah, I'm out here. You know what I'm saying? Different little stuff, different little capers and stuff like that. The same way you run the streets and doing like that, go little drive-bys and all that, like, man, I'm out here. You could do that with the legal stuff viciously, and it's way better. Now I'm on YouTube. I'm in the gym. I'm selling push-ups. I ain't selling drugs. I'm selling push-ups. I'm selling views and this and that. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm in the bushes on the YouTube. You feel me? When I know this check coming. I wait 2 days and then the joint pop up. Boom, you make it 200 a day. You make it 300 a day. I'm like, yeah, rob. You feel me? So I still got the same mindset, but I'm just doing it in a positive way. You feel me? Same way, yeah, because I learned that. I learned my capabilities, you feel me? And us men, we build drug empowers. We do all this crazy stuff. Got different little dudes in the streets ready to do whatever for us, far as sliding or selling this and that. What if we did that legally? How, if you did it legally, you don't have to hide nothing, bro. You don't have to do nothing but that. And it's, you know what I mean? It's better than selling drugs. Cause why? Cause this is an illness drug. I'm an illness drug. I'm an illness drug. I'm selling myself. So you know what I mean? I don't have to re-up. I don't have to worry about no packages coming, this and that, no federales coming, no nothing, bro. You could do it the same way, bro. You could do it the same way. Straight up. Straight up.
Yeah, yeah, that was a good message, yo. I ain't gonna lie. You right.
Question.
You completely
Yeah.
right. I ain't gonna lie. You completely right. Um,
Question.
what was your least favorite tray inside there?
I didn't have one. I ate everything. If it had something to do with salad, I don't eat salad or nothing like that. Anything else, though, I'm crushing, I'm dogging, and I'm enjoying it. I told you I was homeless.
Yeah. Oh, one thing I do remember. Me and you was in the same prison. We was in
Yeah,
MCTC.
yeah,
So I know
uh-huh.
you know about that meat rock.
Yeah. I love the meat rock, bro.
Oh, hell no. Hell no. You a savage
I'm a
then. I
Trey
ain't gonna lie,
monster on the
you a
low.
savage.
Hey, look, I'm a Trey monster on the low. No, like, you hear me? I'm a Trey monster. I
Man.
go to that
What
kitchen, I'm gonna eat me about 2 trays.
what is the difference, the biggest difference besides the racial divide between East Coast and West Coast jails and prisons? Yeah, because you done been to both. I ain't been,
Yeah.
I ain't had too many interviews that did both.
That West Coast jail is very like it's like it's more tension in it. It's more of you gotta be on deck. It's more militant. It's more, you know what I'm saying? You in the war zone for real, for real. Well, like that, it could go down because it's so racial. Over here in the East Coast, you just get y'all like a little relaxed, you know what I mean? It ain't so much at certain joints anyway, shall I say. At certain joints anyway, you could go ahead, relax and, you know what I mean, move how you move. But for the most part, bruh, out there, it's a racial gang warfare going on. So you always gotta be on 10, always gotta be on your toes. And when you're in the midst of it, I'm not gonna lie, it's fun to be honest. When you're in the midst of it, it's man, hey, Sliv, it be like when I think about it, cause it's fun. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't understand. I really don't know. Like understand like what the dangerous stuff make me excitement. I don't really understand that, but I just know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, we about to fight, oh, what's going on? You know what I
It,
mean? That's just
it
me.
ain't fun
So
being on the receiving end.
nah, not at all. But at the same time, if you done that to people, you gotta be able to take that on the chin. You know what I'm saying? So it's fun to me when it returned to me. It's fun to me. I'm like, dang, oh, he got me, bro. I was like, even when dude hit me, boom, 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 I laughed about it because I had boom, boom. I hit him 6 times, he hit me 5 times. You feel me? Boom. So I laughed about it. I ain't get mad. How can I get mad? You know what I'm saying? I was laughing when I hit him. So now I gotta laugh when I get hit because you gotta be able to dish that out. You know what I'm saying? Dish out what you receive. And that's what makes you a man. That's what makes you a man. Like, dang, bro got knocked out. You know how many dudes he knocked out? He took it on the chin. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Yeah. Yo, how was
It's
that being a professional boxer and being in prison? Do you think you had an advantage over other people?
Yeah, I
Did people
definitely
fear
did.
you?
Yeah, I did. I did. It made me advantage. I had an advantage being a professional boxer in prison. But at the same time, out the feds, bro, that made me a vicious target. It made me a vicious target because, prime example, if a race ride was to hop off, I was going to have uh guys already numbered, already on me. Prime example. I'm gonna give you an example. So one day I'm out on the block. My Celly, my first Celly, baby. When they put me in Hazelton Penitentiary, they put me in the first night I was about to fight my Celly. The first night, because I thought he had my bunk. He had my I thought he had my mattress. So they put me in the cell with him. I'm about to fight him, but we end up liking each other, and then he ended up teaching me prison. This is an old head that did 12 years, and then came back and did another 16 years. He knows prison. He's a 007. They put me in the cell with him. Now I'm getting drugs in the prison. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like I said, like you say, I'm a professional boxer. I'm not fighting. I ain't tripping off nothing. My paperwork, it say all type of shootings and all that. I'm violent. I love violence. So here it is. I'm in the joint. You know what I'm saying? I'm a professional boxer in the joint, and I'm just moving and grooving. I'm really nonchalant. I don't really think back in this day. I ain't really do too much thinking. I will move off of impulse, like look, you know what I mean, like hitting people all that. You know what I'm saying? So uh, I'm in here. I'm a professional boxer. I'm having fun now and all this, and it took for my Sally to pull me up to let me know the danger that I was in because I was a professional boxer. And one day we on lock count time, 4 o'clock count. We going there, so I'm rolling up my little K2 because I used to hit the K2. So I'm rolling up, man, and I don't even remember how we got to talking about it, but he was like, you keep thinking it's a game to hit. So I'm like, what? I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? He like, you be moving around here. He was telling me I need to tighten up. Because I'm a YN in this joint, bro. I'm 20. I didn't even hit 27 years old yet. I'm 26 years old and I'm getting drugs into a federal penitentiary. You know what I'm saying? Faithfully. You know what I'm saying? I'm having fun in this joint and violent and all that. I got all the homies. We got knives and all that. And he pulled me up. I didn't even see how I was moving in that joint. He's like, you need to tighten up on how you moving around this joint. So in my head, I'm like, what I'm doing? You know what I'm saying? I'm busting my plays and stuff like that. He like, no, you think this is a playground and you just moving any type of way. You need to start moving a little bit more militant. And he was like, and I'm like, what are you talking about right now, baby? Where does this even come from? And he looked back and he said, do you know that if a war pop off in here, that the Mexicans is going to be on your line? You're going to have 5 people on you, and 3 of them are going to have. So I'm like, what? That alerted me because I knew that out Cali. I got into some fights out Cali and they put me on point. They let me know that they taught me about the race rides, because the race rides pop off in LA County Jail. So they let me know that they told me that when the race rides pop off in LA County Jail, the first when they usually pop off, it's gonna be waves of it. The first waves is gonna be the guys fighting. So while we fighting, because we outnumber, the blacks is outnumbered. While we fighting, they gonna send the first wave of fighters. The second wave is gonna come through. Oh, and they gonna come through and just start hitting everybody. While we fighting these dudes, they gonna come through, start hitting us. You feel me? And I'm like, what? So now I'm there. I done been taught about the race ride. So here I'm in federal prison. I know about the race rides. So now my Sally is telling me And then I never saw this. He like, yeah, if a race ride pop off in here, you gonna have 5 of them on you. He said 3 of them gonna have joints. It took me back to LA County Jail years before. I'm like, oh. And he see me, he see I'm stuck. He like, yeah. He like, you just moving around here, having fun and this and that and that. You better tighten up. I'm already working out and stuff, so I'm not. And see, it's not. See, it don't matter. See, you know when they say the strong survive, they not talking about this right here. They talking about this because you can have this. You can be the strongest person in there, and you get tricked out of this because you ain't even thinking. You ain't even moving right. So now I know that. Now I know if a war pop off in here, I'm gonna have 5 Mexicans in this joint. I'm in this joint, acting thorough, moving around. They know I'm dangerous. You know what I'm saying? So now, you know what I do? I say, man, the next time I got some drugs in the prison, when I got them, I went up to one of the Mexicans that I deal with, right? I dapped him up. I'm like, Nacho, what's up? I'm like, that's for you. You feel me? Gave him some tree and some Subox and all type of stuff. I'm like, that's for you and your homies, bro. I said, make sure your big homie get some of that. Y'all get shoes, whatever y'all want. He's like, for real? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, take that. That's for you. I came up with it. Gave it to him. Boom. You know what I'm saying? Later on, I never really talked to the number one or none of that. I never like, you know what I mean? We walking past each other besides saying excuse me or nothing like that. But like later on that night when I'm coming in back from the yard, he in that joint, we caught eyes. He was like this. I was like, I just kept it moving. I'm like, oh shit. So now I'm hitting him with the tree and all that now. So now we got a relationship. You feel me? Now ain't no cause this is a level 5 penitentiary. Everybody ain't getting drugs in this joint. I'm getting drugs in this joint. And now I'm taking them and building bonds with them. You know what I'm saying? Now, okay, here it is. I'm dangerous. I'm vicious. So they gonna have 5 people with me and all that. So now that I'm hitting them with free stuff, I didn't want nothing back from that, bro. I ain't want nothing back from that. I'm just giving it to them because now I'm their friend and I'm dangerous. So now it's like, yo, if we have a problem with that guy, matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you, a couple days later, he even told me, man, if you got a problem with the guys, you'll be able to come talk. So now we gonna talk. We ain't even gonna go to war. We ain't gonna go to war because once a situation pop up, if I get into it with one of his homies or something, they're gonna be like, oh hell no. You know, they're gonna come in, they're gonna jump on him before anything because I'm the one supplying. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be like, oh, what's going on? You
Yeah.
got into it with my homie? And I'm gonna tell them, like, yeah, bro, Bob, my Slim Job, Bob, and we gonna figure it out right there. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, it ain't gonna be get me. Nah, cause I'm getting it in here. Y'all still want that? Y'all still trying to get that free? Every time I hit, I give it to him. Every time I hit, I give it to him. Freely. Bush, give it to him. Because now, you know what I mean? Now I really like I still gotta watch my back, but dang, nah, man, it's all love. And it was a chess move that I made. So now it goes back to the professional boxer being in prison. Yes, it made me a target. It made me a target because they gonna come with that iron. Even though it's cool, it's quick too. I'm not tripping on nothing like that, but I could lose my life. I ain't bad. I like, yeah, I got a little, yeah, I like the adrenaline rush and I like the fight and all that, but I ain't like they can nail me to the ground in that joint. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying it like I can't get
Yeah.
nailed to the ground. You know what I'm saying? So like yes, it was dangerous. It's very dangerous, bro. Very, bro. And that's why I moved the way I moved. That's why, see, this is the thing though. This is the thing, like I said, right? Hold on real fast. So when you a dangerous guy and you in there with dangerous guys, this is what I learned. Just connect with them. You know what I'm saying? All right, you dangerous, I'm dangerous. What's up, bro? How you doing? You know what I mean? And it's like that. You know what I mean? Oh, you dangerous, I'm dangerous.
Yeah.
Good, good, good. So that's what I started doing. Connecting with the dangerous guys in here. I connected with all the dangerous guys. I'm talking about super dangerous. And you want to know something that's crazy? They thought I was crazy. I used to look at them like, man, this nigga crazy. They are locked up for life. I'm talking about these are lifers. These are gang leaders and this and that, GDs and stuff like that, right? These are gang leaders and certain people that's never come home, right? And they got bodies on bodies. I'm talking about paperwork. You know how you can read their paperwork. I done read people paperwork. We always do paperwork parties. We trade and stuff like that. So I done read the paperwork and read their paperwork. I'm like, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? About like, cause he did got all type of bodies and all this and that. And it always come a time they be like, they'd tell me like, they be like, hey, Cap, you crazy as hell. And I be like, He tell me I'm crazy, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So for a crazy woman to tell me I'm crazy, I'm like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's great. How was it like, getting out? What kind of negatives and what kind of positives did you take with you from getting out of prison?
I'm really institutionalized. I love that. I'm the good institutionalized though, right? So when I was in, we came up on cell phones and stuff like that, right? And when that pandemic hit, after the pandemic, I started noticing, like, when I'm on the phone, I started seeing crazy videos of people walking in the streets, just might assault a person walking down the street, just crazy little stuff. People in the store, it was like people was losing their mind and this and that, and just little different little stuff. People, you got the YNs out here, they playing with it, you know what I'm saying? It's dangerous out here. So I prepared for that in prison. I said, man, I ain't gonna be I'm gonna move a certain type of way. I ain't gonna be around certain type of stuff because I don't wanna get caught up in the madness. You know what I'm saying? So now when I come home, when I'm in line, I don't like people behind me, you know what I'm saying, moving a certain type of way. I don't go out a lot. I don't like big crowds because if it's 50 people, if we going to a party and there's 50 people in here, at least 30 or 25 of them people was gonna have bad intentions. They are not here to have a good time. You feel me? They not. They is out of them 50 people is gonna be people in there that like don't care about nothing. They having a bad day, but they here. You know what I'm saying? And they might try to take that out. So, you know what I mean? I kept that in mind just to move a certain type of way and just take my time.